Hi Capricorn, and welcome to this monthly horoscope for November 2023. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to give you a rundown of the key things happening in November. The point of these horoscopes then is to try and get a sense of where the good stuff is, where the opportunities lie, and how to avoid some of the potential negatives. Now the first thing, and it's really significant for you guys Capricorn because it's your ruler, Saturn, the planet of structure and security, that goes direct on the 4th of November, and it's in Pisces in your third house of communication. So that's really positive for you because when Saturn is in retrograde, the sense of structure comes from within, internally, and it's about inner work and kind of, even to a certain degree, enjoying that sense of security. When it goes direct, it's about finding the structure out in the physical world. And in your third house of communication, the way I think this manifests itself for you in November is that you're not going to be particularly reluctant to share your ideas and to get busy working with your hopes and dreams in earnest. I think you'll feel really solid. You'll see the opportunities that are out there for you, and it's kind of like, I want to pursue the dream here. So I think in November you start by jumping into action, by being super focused and really resilient and strong and confident within yourself. On the 8th of November, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity. That sits on the very top of your chart, near your midheaven. And Venus is about new beginnings. In Libra, it connects you to anything you want, jobs, people, places, things, anything. And the noon position is very much associated with what you're like when you're productive and busy. And that is a really good sign that if you're trying to connect, if you're trying to express yourself and have yourself heard, or if you're trying to reach certain agreements, if you're in mediation or you've got legal things going on, or you need to sign up, draw up contracts or sign a contract, any of that is something that you can go into with eyes wide open and really make a good choice here in November. The other thing is, all the personal planets, Mars, drive, Venus, love and new beginnings, and Mercury, communication, they're all direct at the moment. So there's really nothing stopping you or saying, hey, you should be cautious. They're all saying it's time to move ahead. So if you're looking to make those connections, go for it here in November. And you have the presence of mind and again the strength to do all of that. If you're someone who struggles with a lot of self-doubt usually, then this is a month to step into your power, Capricorn. On the 10th, Mercury goes into Sagittarius. Mercury is the communication planet, and in Sagittarius it can reach very far, right? Because it's in the sign of the Centaur. It's always galloping towards something with its bow and arrow, setting a specific goal. And with its placement in your 12th house, it means that spiritually, you feel very connected. It's like someone has put in cable or put a satellite dish on your roof, and now something that seemed so vague and difficult to connect to in the past is suddenly crystal clear and easy to converse with. What I'm also noticing is that Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, is at 28 degrees in Capricorn, your sign, in your first house. And that is always prompting you to make changes when it comes to the way you operate and the way you kind of appear in the world. On the 13th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, and that happens in your 11th house of hopes and dreams and relationships with other people, especially when it comes to friendships and kind of social networks. So if you've been unclear about what it is you want to do in terms of your work, your life purpose, that on the one hand is likely to become very clear. But what's even more interesting is that we've got the lucky planet Jupiter and Uranus, the planet of the unexpected. They sit across from all that 11th house energy in your 5th house. And it means that you get really, really clear on what it is you want in your love life. And any action that you take around those feelings are likely to have miraculously, amazingly positive results. So for you, Capricorn, this is really a month for love and making your hopes and dreams come true in that sense, whether you're in a relationship or you're single. That is really the big theme in November, all the way through until the 23rd, which is when the sun goes into Sagittarius, also in your 12th. So Mercury went earlier on the 10th. Now the sun is following. We're shifting everything from your 11th house in Scorpio, and now we're moving into your 12th house in Sagittarius. So yes, the relationship stuff and what I love in pursuing that is there. But as the month progresses, and now in the last week of November, there's a bigger focus or a balancing out between that. I want my relationships to work, but I also want a relationship with my higher self, and I want to explore that on a spiritual level. On the 24th, Mars also goes into Sagittarius, and now the scales kind of tilt, and it's spirituality first, then friendships, hopes, and dreams. We have a full moon in Gemini on the 27th, and that happens in your 6th house of work and daily routine and the structure of your life. And Gemini is an air sign that's ruled by Mercury, and it's about finding solutions and using information in order to connect and to get your point across and to open doorways that weren't there before. In your 6th house of work, again, it's a great opportunity to find a new way of operating in that area. And this solution is going to come from your higher self. So that spirituality connection, make sure you engage with that and you really listen to it. Because again, it's going to give you solid practical advice which you can implement later on. We also have Venus in Libra opposing Chiron in Aries on the 27th. And your Venus is in your 10th house here, and it opposes Chiron in Aries. So things are starting to get a bit complicated at the end of the month, and you may feel like you're being pushed and pulled in lots of different directions here. But now it's about focusing on the success you've got in your work and realizing the hopes and dreams there. And if there is anything untoward or unpleasant or unexpected happening in your home life, then it's about balancing that out and dealing with it, not by devoting all your attention to it, but instead by focusing on the connections you've built in the whole month so far and enjoying the good stuff that comes via those relationships. So what I'm saying is basically if there's a problem that occurs at the end of the month around the 27th, and I'm not necessarily saying there is, but if there is something that crops up, it's likely to be in your closest relationships. The way to solve it isn't to dig around and to find the answer and to get all the truth. And feel free to disagree with me on this. But I think the way forward is to focus on things which do work and to let that take care of itself. So not to get overly involved and to put all your energy in resolving someone else's issue, but instead to focus on all the good things that you've created and continuing to enjoy those. If this was a real problem that needed attention, I would say focus on it and resolve it. But what I'm getting is that this isn't a real issue and it's going to resolve itself. So you don't need to waste your time kind of making all that effort and using all that concentration to solve something which isn't that serious. Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune, these are the outer planets, they're retrograde. So Jupiter and Uranus in your 5th gives you that amazing sense of this, anything is possible when it comes to what I love and who I love. And Neptune being in retrograde in your 3rd house means that you're really connected to the dream and what could be. So it's really a matter of you seeing what is important and then taking the steps to manifest it. So that's what I get for you here in November. I hope it gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. Have a fabulous month. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on the button that says book your reading to audio reading with me. Have a wonderful month, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.